Hi everyone, Shane from Liberty Under Attack again. Decided I was going to do another video tonight on September 18th, 2014 at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Um, I was going to do a video on the Open Skies Treaty, and when I was trying to find information to give you guys a background, I found something else. I knew it was there, but I've never seen the document, so this might be more than 15 minutes. It might be split up in two videos. Um, but this is something else, let me tell you. So, let's start with the Open Skies Treaty. Most people have not heard of the Open Skies Treaty, but it's there. Um, I'll read some of it. Signed March 24th, 1992, the Open Skies Treaty permits each state party to conduct short-notice, unarmed reconnaissance flights over the other's entire territories to collect data on military forces and activities. Observation aircraft used to fly the missions must be equipped with sensors that enable the observing party to identify significant military equipment, such as artillery, fighter aircraft, and armored combat vehicles. Though satellites can provide the same and even more detailed information, not all of the 34 treaty states parties have such capabilities. The treaty is also aimed at building confidence and familiarity among states parties through their participation in the overflights. Eisenhower is the person that proposed this. Proposed that the United States and the Soviet Union allow aerial reconnaissance flights over each other's territory in 1955. Moscow rejected the proposal, and Mr. George H.W. Bush, King George I, revived the idea in May 1989, and negotiations between NATO and the Warsaw Pact started in February of 1990. And that is the big idea, the New World Order he talks about. It is a big step. So let's talk about the states that can fly over American airspace at any time they possibly want to. Another thing I want to do in this video is knock down some rumors such as Russia and the United States are enemies, and also that JFK was a good president, because he was not. You'll find out why very shortly. So the 27 states, 27 the 27 states parties that entered into this treaty Bosnia, Herzegovina, Croatia, Estonia, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Slovenia, and Sweden. Russia conducted the first observation flight under the treaty in August 2002, while the United States carried out its first official flight in December 2002. In 2008, states parties celebrated the 500th overflight, and since then the number of flights has risen to more than 800. Rules: all of a state party's territory can be overflown. No territory can be declared off limits by the host nation. I mean, this is crazy. Russia's flying over our airspace. They have been for a while. This is all under the guise of global disarmament. That is the, as you can see from the website, Arms Control Association. Here's where shit gets real sticky. So this is the official Disarmament Series 5, September 1961. Freedom from War, the United States Program for General and Complete Disarmament in a Peaceful World. This is the same document. And this is kind of a walkthrough of what's in the document. And I'm probably not going to read this entire thing because it'd take too long, but I'll just read some of these points. There must be immediate disarmament action. Strenuous and uninterrupted effort must be made toward the goal of general and complete disarmament. At the same time, it is important that specific measures be put into effect as soon as possible. All disarmament obligations must subject to effective international controls. There is an inseparable relationship between the scaling down of national armaments on the one hand and the building up the international peacekeeping machinery and institutions on the other. I mean, this can only be achieved through the progressive strengthening of international institutions under the United Nations and by creating a United Nations peace force to enforce the peace as the disarmament process proceeds. You guys ever heard of the New World Order? One world government, one world police force, one world economic system, one world currency, one world totalitarian socialist state. Oh yeah, that's exactly what they're doing with this one right here, the Global Disarmament Bill. Get rid of all the arms worldwide, give them to the United Nations. They'll be the only ones with the guns. I mean, this is, you can go through and read this. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. And on this site, he goes through some of, he or she, yeah, Bernadine, I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl, he or she goes through some of these different aspects of it. Page 651, you'll find Public Law 87-297, which calls for the United States to eliminate its armed forces. This law was signed for the United States in 1961. John F. Kennedy signed it, and every president since has worked to enact its provisions. The government knows you'll not approve, which is why they want to take away your firearms. Title 22, USC, Section 2251. I'll look that one up. Well, let's go ahead and see what we come up with. So there's no disputing what this says. I don't know many people that have read through the entire United States Code. An ultimate goal of the United States is a world which is free from the scourge of war and the dangers and burdens of armaments, in which the use of force has been subordinated to the rule of law, and in which international adjustments to a changing world are achieved peacefully. It is the purpose of this chapter to provide impetus towards this goal by addressing the problem of reduction and control of armaments, looking toward ultimate world disarmament. Secretary shall have authority under the direction of the President to carry out the following primary functions: preparation for and management of the United States participation in international negotiations, and implementation for in the arms control, non-proliferation and disarmament field, coordination for the disarmament policy formulation, participation in such control systems as may become part of the United States armed control, the dissemination and coordination of public information concerning arms control, non-proliferation, and disarmament. So that's number one. First off, I just want to state that that bill is unconstitutional as hell. Can't even call it a bill because it's an international treaty. Any international treaty that usurps the original Constitution is null and void. They have no authority to usurp the Constitution and contract under international law. But they did that a long time ago. United Nations Charter signed in 1945. So yeah, I don't even think that was actually legally ratified, but it's there, and we're living under international law every single day. So let's continue down here. I got about 7 minutes left in this video. I'm not sure if I can get finished. We'll see. 652, definition of what the government means by disarmament. This disarmament calls for the elimination of our armed forces, which we have not looked at yet. That should be this one. Nope. Give me one moment. 22 U.S. Code 2552 states that the terms armed control and disarmament mean the identification, verification, inspection, limitation, control, reduction, or elimination of armed forces and armaments of all kinds under international agreement, including the necessary steps taken under such an agreement to establish an effective system of international control or to create and strengthen international organizations for the maintenance of peace. The term government agency means any executive department, commission, agency, independent establishment, corporation, wholly or partly owned by the United States, which is an instrumentality of the United States, or any board, bureau, division, service, office, officer, authority, administration, or other establishment in the executive branch of government. So there's 2552. Next one, 2571. Gotta have that one open. Probably not though. Yep, there it is. So Secretary of State is authorized and directed to exercise his power, authorized and directed in the direction of the President to ensure the conduct of research, development, and other studies in the fields of armed control, non-proliferation, and disarmament, to make arrangements for disarmament, arms control, the same bullshit over and over again. Control, reduction, and elimination of armed forces and armaments, weapon detection, identification tests, national budgets and economic indicators, space, earth surface, and underwater region, control, reduction, and elimination of armed forces and armaments in space, in areas on and beneath the earth's surface and in underwater regions. Structure and operation of international control, training control system personnel, danger of war from accident, miscalculation, or surprise attack. I mean, this stuff. I mean, you'll have to look at these yourself. I'm not reading these entire things. It's starting to piss me off. So, Public Law 87297, that is this document here. An ultimate goal of the United States is a world which is free from the scourge of war and the dangers and burdens of armaments. Arms control and disarmament policy, being an important aspect of foreign policy, must be consistent with national security policy as a whole. Bunch of bullshit. I mean, I think this is the entire thing, but we'll keep going through here. Yeah, and this is the same as this one. This is the official document. You can actually order copies of that from the U.S. Government Printing Office. They probably won't let you do it anymore, but it's there. Someone should try that out. See if we can still get this document. Page 6655. Policy formation directives there, supposedly to restrain anyone from disarmament, reducing or limiting our armaments, or taking away guns from the people unless it is pursuant to the treaty-making power of the president. So here's where, this is where it becomes quite comical. So they say that no action shall be taken that would obligate the United States to reduce or eliminate the armed forces or armaments of the United States in a militarily significant manner, except pursuant to treaty-making power of the President set forth in Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2 of the Constitution, or authorized by Congress. This is so retardedly written. If a treaty supersedes the Constitution, it's null and void. There can be no treaty that supersedes the Constitution, so therefore they're already, I don't know why they're quoting the Constitution. They sure as hell don't know it, or they don't care about it, which I can tell you they probably don't know. They probably both of those. And then they go on to say that nothing contained in this chapter shall be construed to authorize any policy or action by any government agency which would interfere with, restrict, or prohibit the acquisition, possession, or use of firearms by an individual for the lawful purpose of personal defense, sport, recreation, education, or training, unless the president uses dictatorial powers to sign a treaty to supersede it, which has already been done by United Nations Charter, and on top of that by this global disarmament bill that Kennedy rammed down our throats. So, I mean, okay, so it says go look at Public Law 101-216. Let's go look at it just because I got a couple minutes left on the screen capture. We'll take a gander. So, I mean, you can see all these are all official documents. Like, there's no bullshit here. It's it. Wonder why they're trying to take our guns so bad now? Nope. Denying the existence of the New World Order, one world government, one world police state, one world currency, one world economic system, one world bank. If you're denying that, then you aren't paying attention. Because it's all right here. This is just one small document in the big scheme of things, and this clearly states that they're going to take away all the guns from nations and turn all the weapons over to the United Nations. And this is just, I don't know about you, but this kind of pisses me off. Arms Control and Disarmament Agency. This is a Public Law 101-216. I mean, there's another pretty damning document. You still think we have it? You still think we're living under the Constitution? You still think we are? You think we were in 1963 when this was signed? 1961, whatever year it was. You think we were then? Bet your ass we weren't. Bet your ass we weren't. United States government is a corporation, as started by the Act of 1871, and they do not operate under the Constitution. The Constitution has been dormant, and now they are slowly passing laws to finish off your rights completely. Thanks. This is Shane from libertyunderattack.com, www.libertyunderattack.com. Go check it out. Go talk on that discussion board. Thanks. I'll talk to you guys later.